Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us. We are excited to share information about SIG programs with all of you and answer any questions you may have. We will record this presentation and email it to you shortly.
My name is Samantha Duronsel, and I am a SIG Program Director. I oversee programs at Princeton University, UC Berkeley, Bryn Mawr, and Stewart Country Day School.
And my name is Christine Provencher, and I'm also one of the SIG Program Directors. I oversee the Innovator programs at Emory University, UCLA, and the University of Miami, in addition to several of our Investigators program sites. I've been with SIG for 12 years now, and I'm calling into this webinar remotely while Samantha is participating from our home office in Stamford, Connecticut. At the end of our presentation, we will address questions that you have. You can type them into the question feature at any time.
Your participation today indicates that you are interested in your child's education and academic exploration, and so are we. Since 1984, SIG has focused on enabling and empowering gifted, talented, creative, and high-potential youth to celebrate and maximize their unique potential through our summer programs.
SIG seeks to provide all students with a feeling of significance. Every child should have a feeling of knowing who they are and where their life is headed. Our goal is that each student walks away from their SIG experience with a feeling of self-reassurance and confidence. Our program methodology can best be explained by our incorporation of academic, recreation, and social emotional components. In other words, programming for the whole person. Every child has different interests, abilities, and learning styles. Some are more outgoing, while others may need some encouragement. Some are more methodical in their thought processes, while some may be more creative, with big ideas in a variety of areas. We recognize and embrace every student's individuality. As we talk today, we will take you through the ways the SIG programs can benefit your student through our approaches. Whether you and your child are interested in participating on a daily basis as a day or day plus evenings and Saturday student, or as a residential student, SIG's flexible options strive to meet your individual needs.
You may be asking yourself, why should my child attend SIG? Well, that's why we are glad you're here today. For 35 years, SIG has been providing students with an academic program that is both challenging and rigorous in nature, and where students can meet new friends and make lasting memories, all under the care and supervision of our dedicated, qualified, and experienced staff.
Our students report back to us that in addition to great academic enhancement, they appreciate the intense friendships they develop, as well as their increased independence and self-discovery.
Today, we will be discussing SIG's Innovators program options. SIG offers a wide range of programs across the United States at top-tier universities such as Princeton University, Yale University, and UCLA, to name a few. All programs are 3 weeks in length and cater to students between the ages of 9 to 17, depending on the site. Additionally, we offer our Investigators programs for ages 5 to 8 on 3 campuses, Bryn Mawr, Emory, and UMiami, as well as other sites across the country that cater to 5 to 12-year-olds. We will be hosting another webinar specifically for those programs next Wednesday, the 20th.
Or tomorrow. All SIG programs are admissions-based, and students are required to provide evidence of high academic ability and/or achievement. For 2020, SIG offers 2 types of eligibility paths: the academic achievement/intellectual route, or the route for demonstrating eligibility in creative thinking behaviors. Students may choose either of these paths to demonstrate their proficiency, but eligibility documents from only one path, academic or creativity, should be submitted. Our first option, or the academic route, is geared towards those students who demonstrate high levels of achievement or ability. Evidence of high achievement on the PSAT or SAT, or participation in an academic talent search are just a few ways that a student can demonstrate their eligibility. In general, we look for those students who achieve an overall or subject test score at the 95th percentile or above.
Option 2 is designed for students who demonstrate high ability in creative thinking. A student who chooses to pursue Type 2 eligibility for creative thinking may submit test results in the 95th percentile from a nationally normed creativity assessment such as the Torrance test. Alternatively, we require the submission of 2 letters of recommendation from individuals who are familiar with the student's creative thinking performance.
For international applicants, we also require demonstration of proficiency in English, which could include transcripts with course grades in English and/or evidence of prior attendance in a program conducted in English. In some cases, our admissions team may request a Skype interview with an international applicant.
There is a long list of criteria which students can use to demonstrate eligibility for the program. We encourage you to visit our website at giftedstudy.org to view this extensive list.
Along with the academic or creativity eligibility criteria, all students must be ages 9 to 17 by August 31st of 2020 and submit evidence of mandatory vaccinations to attend.
We are going to shift gears a bit and speak about the different campus program options available to students. As we have discussed, all students are required to take 4 courses each day. However, students do have the option to either reside on campus for the duration of the program or commute back and forth each day. The choice is yours.
If you live close to campus and your student has other activities planned during the summer, our non-residential options may be perfect for you. As a matter of fact, each summer we always have some families who plan their vacations around the 3 weeks of SIG and enjoy some time away from home while their child attends SIG during the weekdays and sometimes on Saturdays. They then spend their evenings and weekends seeing the local sites.
Residential students can take advantage of everything SIG has to offer. Students participate in all 4 academic periods, recreation hours, evening activities, and both weekend activity days. Residential students have all 3 meals as a group and reside in a college dorm for the duration of the program.
One of our commuting options is for day students to attend Monday through Friday to participate in the academic day and recreation hour. They are on campus from approximately 8:30 in the morning until 5:30 in the afternoon. A more comprehensive option is the day plus evening and Saturdays enrollment. This option allows a student to take part in all of the above, as well as the evening study period and activities. They also join the residential students on Saturdays for all the recreational activities we have planned.
Students are divided into counselor groups based on their age group with 2 to 3 core counselors that will be supervising them for the duration of the program. Counselors are the first line of support for students. Counselors assist students with navigating the dining hall, transitioning between courses, and much more. For residential students, counselors distribute mail daily, help with laundry, talk through homesickness, and act as a valuable friend and mentor.
Speaking of laundry, on campus we establish laundry schedules by counselor group, and your student will learn to do his or her own laundry. Hopefully, by the time your child returns home, he or she can do your laundry too. All students and staff live by codes of conduct. You will be asked to sign these when applying to an Innovators program and review them with your students prior to arriving on campus. In short, our expectation is that everyone will be respectful of one another, commit to performing to the best of their abilities, and be accountable for their actions. Just as you have rules at home, we do too.
One question we are asked all the time is, can I visit my students? Of course you can. We recommend that you plan your visits for evenings or Sundays. Check the weekly schedule and ask your child if he or she is okay with missing an activity to spend some time with family. And yes, care packages and notes from home are always welcome. You will be provided with a mailing address and shipping information prior to the program start.
Our day and day plus evenings and Saturday students are also assigned counselor groups, intermingled with the residential students. They are supervised by their counselors and eat meals with their groups each day. We want everyone to feel included, no matter which option you choose for your student. And our counselor groups are so important to this aspect of the program. As a matter of fact, on registration and move-in day, our commuting students are invited to attend that afternoon and evening for group activities, dinner, and student orientation. By doing so, they can meet their fellow group mates and begin the bonding process prior to arriving for class the next day.
All students operate on the same academic schedules. Depending on campus location, courses begin 8:45 a.m. and run through 4:15 p.m. with some variations by campus. Students participate in their chosen 4 academic periods and transition between campus buildings or classrooms for courses independently if they are age 13 and older. Younger students are walked to and from their courses and lunch hour. All students are provided lunch and unwind after the academic day at rec hour.
Now, turning our attention to the heart of our program, academics, let's talk about that. Our academic curriculum model at SIG combines enrichment and acceleration, where students engage in real-world and authentic content, employ their skills, interests, and learning styles, expand the ways they think and approach challenges, and gain tools for lifelong learning. We will talk more about our academic approach shortly.
SIG's STEAM Plus curriculum takes a multidisciplinary approach to learning that engages students in creative thinking to help them solve real-world problems for their futures in STEAM fields such as science, technology, engineering, arts/humanities, mathematics, and fitness.
The curriculum at SIG is based on a model of academics that involves both enrichment and acceleration. Our academic approach allows for flexibility, offers personalized learning, provides opportunities for problem-based learning, immerses students in multidisciplinary studies, and nurtures the whole person. Let's review each of these components and how students experience SIG Academics. SIG Academics is flexible. Students have the flexibility to explore their interests while gaining exposure to new topics. Each course has a set of objectives, and students have the flexibility to tailor their learning to the topics or interests they may have related to these objectives. Students have the freedom to pursue their learning goals and move in the direction and pace they prefer. Our classes usually comprise a mixture of individual work, small group work, and collaborative experiences. This arrangement allows for students to work and think both individually and collaboratively when approaching different class activities. There is less structure and supervision than in a typical academic classroom, which allows for more independence and flexibility in learning, which are essential environmental aspects for highly capable youth.
SIG Academics is personalized. At SIG, we realize that not all students learn in the same way or pace, and they are not all interested in the same topics. SIG's curriculum and instruction takes each student's unique academic experience and expertise into account. Assignments and content are tailored to meet the needs of each student while also encouraging group collaboration and ownership of knowledge. At the beginning of each course, instructors reassess the knowledge and skills that students bring to the course. This assessment provides the instructor with information for individualizing the objectives and learning goals. Following this assessment, the instructors will meet with students to determine their individual goals and objectives to help meet each student's specific needs and interests. Our instruction is designed to challenge students through course content, processes, and products to keep learners excited, enriched, and fulfilled, all of which make them happy.
SIG Academics focuses on the tenets of problem-based learning. Our academic courses allow students to think critically, creatively, and complexly. We want students to apply new knowledge to real problems and engage in learning as professionals do in their fields of study. Our students leave our programs with a vision for how they can change their futures, incorporating the talents and passions they possess. At SIG, we want to nurture the thinking of fertile minds to help our students unleash their potential.
SIG Academics utilizes a multidisciplinary curriculum model. Students engage with course objectives from multiple perspectives of various STEAM fields such as science, technology, engineering, arts, humanities, and mathematics. Our curriculum allows gifted and high-ability learners to exercise their extraordinary conceptual thinking to combine reasoning with imagination without the restraints of being confined to a single academic discipline. SIG Academics is programming for the whole person. SIG not only develops students intellectually, but also provides social, cultural, and recreational opportunities that nurture students' social skills as well as their natural talents. SIG students meet and interact with like-minded peers to build acceptance and establish lifelong friendships.
SIG provides a safe place for students to think and share their ideas and thoughts. We push students to think outside the box and come up with unique and innovative ways to solve problems and challenges around them. At SIG, we realize that not all students learn in the same way, and they are not all interested in the same material. SIG focuses on a differentiated learning approach, taking each student's unique academic experience and expertise into account. We encourage students to accept responsibility for the direction of their learning and to participate in self-assessment while at SIG.
Our qualified and dedicated staff make sure that academics are at the forefront of the SIG experience. Courses are advanced in nature and provide challenging and complex learning material to students. By tapping into the creative realm, students can grapple in depth with advanced topics, which in turn provides an enriching and dynamic experience. SIG focuses less on drill and skills and instead emphasizes aspects of problem-based learning within small class sizes. Assignments and material are tailored to meet the needs of each student. We encourage group collaboration and ownership of knowledge. Topics are also designed to draw on real-life examples and experiences.
Students are encouraged to think critically in academic groups. There is academic freedom as it relates to pacing and topics than in a typical academic classroom, which allows for increased independence and flexibility in learning. A typical SIG classroom supports a Socratic method of instruction versus lecture style. Our instructors facilitate while our students discover. There are 4 course periods in a day. each 90 minutes long. From a variety of course options, students design their own schedules within their age group. Some courses listed as A or R options are open to all students across all age groups, unless noted otherwise.
We do have an abundance of STEM topic courses, but students are not required to take required classes. Some of our courses also require the purchase of books. Of note, at our SIG UC Berkeley 2 program, denoted as the SIG Global program, we offer a variety of classes geared towards international students, including several ELL course options for English language learners. We also ask students ages 13 to 17 to bring a laptop to all programs. Younger students are also highly recommended to bring a laptop or tablet, and there are some courses that require the use of a laptop for this age group.
At the end of the program, students will receive a Student Performance Review, or SPR as we call it, for each completed course. In it, instructors provide narrative, qualitative feedback that highlight the accomplishments and progression of each student with course objectives and personal learning goals, while offering recommendations for further development. Upon request, student performance reviews can be sent to schools or academic institutions.
SIG provides a plethora of social activities which promote social interaction and engagement. Following the academic day, students gather for rec hour, dinner, tutorial, evening activities, and dorm time, depending on the program option.
As we mentioned before, all students participate in the daily recreation hour. Most evening and weekend events are reserved for residential and students enrolled as day plus evenings and Saturdays.
Recreation hour occurs immediately after the academic day at most locations to wind down after a day of innovation. Whether they are interested in sports, arts, or join a club, they can choose a different activity each day.
Social engagement is the key to SIG evenings. Some of the activities your student participate in are long-standing traditions, such as the Brain Bowl, a competitive Jeopardy-like game, counselor activity nights in which the counselors plan something special for their group, and the most looked forward to event, the dance. Other evenings, planned events, and free time are scheduled throughout the weeks.
SIG weekends are a time to relax, unwind, and form bonds that last a lifetime. Depending on the program location, students have multiple options to explore each day, ranging from movie nights on the quad, talent shows, campus explorations, and more.
The focus of all recreational activities is placed on social emotional development. We want all students to find a way to make positive, lasting, and rewarding connections with their peers, all while exploring their own recreational interests in a fun and safe environment.
To paint the big picture of our staff, all campuses are overseen by a program director, like me, as well as an on-site director. The director resides on campus for the duration of the program. Our administrative team is rounded out by an academic dean who oversees academics, a residential life dean who manages safety and security in the dorms, and a student activities dean who is responsible for planning social, weekend, and evening events for our students. Your main points of contact will be our office staff, both an office manager and administrative assistant. All campuses have at least one nurse who lives on campus for the duration of the program.
As we mentioned earlier, all instructors are accompanied by a teaching assistant in the classroom. Some of the TAs also act as counselors in the dorm, adding an additional level of support for your child.
Your child's safety is our primary concern. We recruit top staff from across the country to look after your child's best interest. All students are supervised in counselor groups with approximately 10 students per counselor. Student groups are divided by age and gender. Whether students are moving in between classes, on a trip off campus, or at meals, there is constant supervision by our staff.
I would like to add that for our residential students living in the dorm, there is additional support staff, including a residential life dean and housemasters.
Students between the ages of 15 to 17 are considered the senior group at SIG and enjoy increased flexibility in their scheduling, a greater sense of freedom, and are privy to activities geared towards this age group. Senior students may walk unsupervised to class, events, and explore the campus in groups greater than 3, have optional free time, and participate in special activities that they decide.
Simply put, our goal is for your student to have the most rewarding and academically challenging and socially fulfilling summer possible. We want all students to explore their intellectual curiosities while in a safe, secure, and fun environment.
At this point, we would like to open the conversation to our audience. Please share your questions or concerns by typing them into the chat box on your screen. We will address as many questions as possible. For any additional questions, please feel free to contact us directly after the presentation, and we would be happy to help you.
Okay, Samantha, it looks like we've already gotten some questions, and the first one was, will this presentation be available? And the answer is absolutely yes. We will be emailing the link to this presentation to participants to see if you want to see it again, and we'll also be posting it on our website for others to see.
Okay, so our next question is, do kids tend to come back year after year to the same campus? Absolutely. We have many students that have been there for, 4 or 5 years, depending on the program location. We have students that they even, go to the next program if they, age out of one program, and all the staff, they remember them, and they just have an amazing time.
The next question is, what about students from Canada who do not have SATs? Well, if you look on our website under how to apply, you will see a whole page dedicated to eligibility. It could be recommendation letters or attendance in a gifted school or, other methods. So please do check the website giftedstudy.org under how to apply, and you can see that.
We have another question about specific instructors. So we hire staff members from private and public schools in the local areas where the programs are. So for instance, at our program at Princeton University, we have staff members that have been coming back for multiple years. They work locally at different schools. It could be, a private charter school. It could be a public school. They're always working at an advanced level, and we have great relationships with them.
Okay, our next question is about supervision. Can a student of age 14 be put into a senior group? That's a great question. No. They have to be 15 to 17 by August 31st of 2020 in order to be considered a senior. But this year, ages 13 to 14 will have what we're calling graduated supervision. After the third day, they will also be able to walk to classes and events in buddy groups of 3 or more. The differences are that they will have meals within their counselor group, and the seniors do enjoy a little bit more flexibility with regards to activities. But we don't we don't have age pushes or waivers for the age 14 to go up. Another question similar is, how would a 13-year-old get from class to class on her own or with a group? They're always in a group, either 3 or more buddy groups, or they'll walk with their counselor. Ages 9 to 12 are walked everywhere with their counselors.
Our next question is, how are class assignments determined? So when you submit an application for your child, you would be submitting your course choices, a first choice and a second choice, or an alternate choice. Just in the event that the first option is full, you would be placed into the second option. And if that did happen, you would always be emailed by the program director so that you know exactly what your schedule is. You can also see the final schedule for the courses on the MySig portal, which is where students find all the information they need about their program once they're accepted.
Okay, the next question we have here is, someone is turning 15 in August. Can she register for the highest level of courses? Yes, if she will be 15 by August 31st of 2020, the system will consider her to be 15 years old, and she can take those classes.
The next question is, do we have plans to open additional sites? The sites that are listed on our website are the sites that we will be at for 2020. But if you have a suggestion for an additional site for 2021, we are always looking for, great suggestions. You should definitely reach out to us with, the school that we should be in, or the region, if you feel like it's an area where gifted education is needed.
Okay, let's see. We have another question here. Are international students restricted in terms of choice of programs? No, they are absolutely not. International students are welcome at any of our programs, but as we mentioned before, our SIG Global at UC Berkeley, the second session is geared more towards a total international focus.
The next question, how soon following the application process will you know if your child has been accepted? Generally, our time to respond is 2 weeks, but in the instance that we have, a higher than normal rate of applications, that might increase a little bit, or it might decrease depending on how many applications. But a good standard is usually 2 weeks.
Here's a great question for us. Is one site better than another for a 13-year-old that has never been away from home? I would say it really depends on your student and what they're used to, the environment that they're used to. So I would suggest contacting Samantha or I, using the contact information on the last page, and we'd be pleased to talk to you about your individual student.
The next question is, if you have a friend going, can you request a roommate? Absolutely. We definitely encourage students, if they know someone who's attending the program, to request that roommate. The student does need to be in the same age group, and both students need to request each other in order for us to honor the roommate request.
Let's see, next question is there a waiver for age 14 to attend senior courses? Yes, for some of our senior level courses, we do allow waivers, and you can contact us to get in touch with our academic director, Caroline Daniel, who will be happy to discuss that with you.
Is there homework on evenings and weekends? So we do have instructors that give homework to students. We do ask instructors, and students typically only have about an hour for tutorial time. We ask instructors to give homework that doesn't take more than 15 minutes per evening per course, so that students aren't, boggled down with too much homework each evening. On the weekends, they have it much easier usually, and they don't have as much homework. But on the evenings, they have 1 hour of time where they commit to their coursework.
And homework is a bad word at SIG. We like to call it out-of-class assignments. Let's see. Oh, here's a good one. This is probably one of my favorites. Do students get a chance to sleep in on the weekends? I have a child who loves her sleep. Absolutely. During the weekends, especially on Sundays, we have a later wake-up time, and breakfast is optional. They can go to brunch a little bit later if they'd like to sleep in. So not a problem there.
Can a student change their option during the course? Absolutely. So sometimes we have students that they sign up and they decide they only want to be, a day student or a day plus evening and Saturday student, but then they see how much fun their peers are having and they really decide they want to stay overnight in the dorms. This is absolutely something that can happen. You would email your program director for that location and we will be able to give you the rate at that point for the conversion.
Okay, let's see. Here's another question. What are some of the activities that students do on the weekends? Well, let's see. It depends on the campus, but a lot of times there are pool parties. We have a talent show that they do. There's things on campus that the students participate in, or they'll go to the areas surrounding the campus to get lunch or shop, and always with supervision. And we plan a lot of fun activities on campus, scavenger hunts and those kind of things. Plus, there's time to do laundry and a little bit of relaxation and social activities that get the kids together.
What is a typical class size at SIG? Most of our classes have a size of about 12 students. We try to keep that as low as possible so that students really have as much individualized attention as they need. Another question we have is, do all campuses have the same curriculum? So each location has a slightly different list of courses that are offered, but the courses are mostly the same, only with the exception of who is teaching it, of course. We do have instructors work directly with the students to cater to their needs and what their individualized objectives might be. So if a student, for instance, says they're interested in oceans, that would be incorporated into the curriculum, which would steer the course in a different way than another program where they didn't have any students that were interested in oceans.
We have a question here regarding course choices. If my child chooses the 4 classes she wants and applies in January, and then decides that she wants to change one of them, can she do so? Yes, you can change them online yourself up until the end of April. If a class isn't full, you can make that change yourself. If a class is already full, you can ask to be put on the waiting list. But yes, you may change classes until we close them at the end of April.
Do we cater to religious needs? We oftentimes have many students that request to attend religious services, and we also have staff members that are doing the same thing. So there's definitely a group that, always goes to religious services, and we definitely cater to that need.
Next question is, what do the kids need to bring for the dorms, such as sheets, pillows, etc.? Well, each campus is different. Some campuses provide everything and some do not. So what we do is we gather all that information for you, and on your students' MySig portal towards May, you will find a campus FAQ sheet that will let you know all that information. And we also provide you with a what to pack list, and in the student handbook, there's information about that as well.
Another question we have is, how should we go about choosing classes? This is definitely something that we often get questions about. We do recommend that students choose one course that might be sort of a reach for them, sort of more challenging for them, one course that they are especially excited about, one in arts or recreation, and then maybe one course that they, have a specific goal. Maybe they want to, get better at this course before school starts or something like that.
Let's see, what was the next question? The next question was, oh, if I have a 15-year-old that is enrolled in 3 level classes plus 1 elective, like the Broadway Beckons class, this is not S level. Will she still enjoy senior privileges? Yes, she will, because she's 15 and she's enrolled in S level classes. Taking an elective is great, so she will still have senior privileges, absolutely.
Another question is, do Canadian students need a visa? So we do not offer advice for whether or not visas are needed to get into the country. We can tell you that we do charge an international fee for anyone that doesn't have a U.S. passport. I would definitely recommend reaching out to your local consulate or embassy to find out more information about the specific needs for your visa. We also do supply a visa invitation letter for all accepted students that are international that can aid you in that process.
Here's a great question. Is there a list of prestigious alumni of SIG programs? There is, but we don't kiss and tell.
Another question we have is, are there sibling discounts available if both children are accepted into the program? Absolutely. Our sibling discount is $100 for a full day student and $50 for a half day student.
How do we contact a specific program director at a given campus? Well, you can call the main office and ask to speak to the program director for any specific campus that you're interested in, and our information is also listed on the MySig portal. So when you sign in, once you're enrolled, once you sign in, you'll see your program director's name there. Okay. Oh, you have one more? Okay.
Yes, we have one more. Are rec time activities mandatory? Rec time activities are definitely encouraged. We ask each student to sign up for something, but the activities are so varied that students always find something. Something that's an option for rec hour. Maybe you just want to sign up to, use the laundry at a time where not a lot of people are using it. That's definitely an option. Maybe you need to, run to CVS with a group of other students. That's also an option. So, we try to vary it so that we have activities that are for the more reserved students and also the more athletic students. We offer a little bit of everything, so students really don't ever, feel like they're being forced to do anything.
Okay, unfortunately, that is all the time that we have today. For any questions that you may still have pertaining to your specific needs, please feel free to reach out via phone or by email. You can also find more information on our website at giftedstudy.org, and don't forget to connect with us on social media. We're everywhere. We also have a new blog that you can get to by going to our website that gives a lot of great tips and information for parents of gifted students, education-wise and socially wise, not just about SIG. So we encourage you to check that out. Thank you very much for participating. We hope that this webinar provided you with a comprehensive overview of our Innovators programs. Again, we'd like to thank you for all your wonderful questions and for taking the time to join us today. Have a wonderful rest of your day.